Hello everyone, welcome back to more Echo and thank you for clicking on this video. If you want to support this channel, subscribe, like, comment down below. But other than that, thank you for being here. Yeah, let's get back to the game real quick, shall we? Hopefully you're doing all right, you're cozy, you're fine, or you're in a spot where, yeah, doing good. I'm hoping. Once again, I gotta stop yapping. Let's get back on to Echo. Yeah, I guess it's just that it's not really his birthday. Genocide? Huh? It's just an excuse to do something in this shitty town. I see Jenna glance at the door to the bathroom as if word TJ can hear her curse, even with the shower running. I let out my own sigh. Well, I'm sorry I dragged you here, Jenna. I thought it would be fun, is all. Jenna wishes whatever she's doing in the mirror and turns back around to face me. Hey, it's not the town I came to see. It was you guys. Aw? Oh? Uh? Yeah, well, you don't seem very happy about that either. Jenna frowns. If I didn't want to be around you guys, I'd have left by now. I have friends in Peyton that could take me to the bus stop. I don't say anything, choosing to lean back on the bed and close my eyes, still tired from the fucked up dreams I had last night. Sorry, I'll stop complaining. I massage my forehead with one hand. It's still in the beginning of the week. You got time to turn this around. It's really just Flynn. I look over at her. Is he coming? Yup, Leo said he had to talk with him, so. I mean, Flynn gets over stuff pretty quick. I think it won't be awkward if we don't let it be. Jenna looks at the shower door, the sound of the dryer blowing loudly behind it. It's not really Flynn that I'm worried about. The things he said to TJ. I rub my eyes. If it gets to that point, me and TJ will just cut out early and go somewhere else. Maybe Janice's place. I open my eyes to look at Jenna. You going with us? Jenna smirks at me. I think I have some studying to do. Oh, come on. Anyway, what if Flynn has another? She immediately cuts herself off as the door suddenly cracks open. I see one of TJ's blue eyes looking through the opening. The eye widens and the door quickly closes again. Suddenly it swings back open and the lynx comes striding out in just his pants. Excuse me, Jenna? Jenna moves over and TJ reaches into one of the drawers to pull out a polo shirt. Forgot my shirt, he mumbles before turning back around and hurrying to the bathroom. I catch a glimpse of the insides of his ears, which are bright red. The door snaps shut again. We both stare at the door wide before Jenna speaks up again. If Flynn can keep his mouth shut until the end of the week, then we might just be able to get through this. I agree. I stare at the window as we roll down the dusty streets of Echo. These streets are, yeah, I guess it's a road. I'll be honest. It's some kind of road. Honestly, it doesn't look much worse off than how I left it. The roads might be a little worse, but I assume that's because they haven't done any maintenance since winter. I'm regretting not letting him know we're coming. You know, he'd be lucky if he even gets his ass out of bed. I'll call him then. But what if he doesn't answer? Leo doesn't say anything. Instead, focusing back on the road, the TJ feels the silence after a while. Well, I don't think it's too weird. It's just like we're hanging out again. Nothing wrong with that. Sure, but making it about Card is just weird. Maybe if his birth, maybe if his birthday was like next week, 2 weeks tops. Oh, hush, Flint. It'll be just like we're hanging out. You acting weird about it isn't going to help anything. The car starts slowing down and I snap out of my daydreaming to look up, knowing that we definitely aren't at Carl's house yet. That's when I see a round canine figure standing further up on the side of the road. She's standing in the dirt that separates the road and the field in front of a broken and rusted barbed wire fence. I think that's Janice. I look over at Leo and he seems concerned. His brow is furrowed as he carefully steers the car right up next to the coyote. I can see why. She's crouched over, elbows on her knees, staring at the ground. Roll down your window, Chase. I do as he says, struggling a little with the old crank handle. The hell is she doing out here? We come to a stop next to the coyote, kicking up some dust. I do know. Hey! Leo leans over me and smiles out at Janice, who's still looking at the ground. Everything all. His voice cuts off in a weird choking sound. I look at him confused, then look back out the window, and I can't help myself but I gasp. It was hard to tell from the angle and all the dust kicked up by the van, but now I can see that Janice has her pants down around her thighs. I can also see everything else. I sit back quickly and avert my eyes, looking out the windshield instead. What the fuck? Oh my god, Leo, keep going. Jenna whispers it, her voice strained. Oh, sorry, Leo stops talking and I chance a glance out the window again. Janice is looking at us now, and she's smiling. It's a weird smile because it isn't touching her eyes. It's unnerving. Leo stares back. Leo, go. I hiss out the side of my mouth, staring out the windshield again. He seems reluctant too, though looking concerned. Janice, do you need some help? His tone is one you might use on a toddler or a crazy person. I don't hear her say anything except maybe a grunt. Leo bravely keeps trying though. We can give you a ride. Leo stops talking in time for me to hear a pattering sound. It's a sound I recognize well from back when I would take a piss on the dirt roads of Echo when no one was around. The van lurches forward, then resumes a smoother acceleration back onto the empty road. Holy shit, what the fuck was that? I don't. Leo's frowning, looking as confused as I've ever seen him. Should I go back? No! I look back and see TJ covering his face. Maybe she could be having some kind of psychotic episode. Or maybe she just had to piss. I don't think so. Did you see the way she looked at me? It was probably just on something. Isn't everyone? No, she doesn't do stuff like that. Well, maybe she does. You never know with people. Again, Leo doesn't say anything, and neither does anyone else. Or neither. I glance back at TJ, who's sitting in the very back seat with Jenna. He's got his ears down, looking into his lap, where he's fidgeting with his hands. I know he's probably thinking the same thing I can. Or wait, I am. I'm sorry, everyone. I got my other eye closed. Which is what we're supposed to help Janice with her spring cleaning or whatever. I want to ask him about it, but the dead silent van is making me feel like now isn't the best time. And that was awkward. I fucking told ya. Leo stabs the doorbell again, frustration etched across his face. Can you please keep the cursing down just a little bit? I can't help but notice TJ wins at every F-bomb. He's been keeping his distance from Flynn, always standing on the opposite side of our little group. I shift the bag I'm carrying around my hands, trying to look through the frosted glass on the sides of the doors. Maybe he's getting high. He should still be able to hear. I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to. TJ holds up his phone. He's not answering his phone either. Leo knocks on the door hard, his bicep bulging. Well, I guess breaking the door might get us inside. Leo stands back, paws on his waist as he takes a deep breath. He's determined, and I guess he should be considering he set all of this up. We should have just told him to meet us at the diner or something. They lock their windows? What? Leo growls. It's not like we're breaking in. TJ ears spin back, a frown on his face. The wolf puts a paw to his forehead, closing his eyes. Sorry, but I think he's just asleep, and it shouldn't be too hard to just get in there and wake him up. I look over at the side of the house and see a window well. I point at it. What about that? Too small. I could probably fit. She hops off the front porch and crouches down next to the window, pushing at it. Wait, there's a security sticker here. Well, you gotta arm it first, and Carl's such a lazy ass, I know he didn't. Besides, if we set it off, we can just run. It's not like they'll show up anytime soon. Jenna hesitates, then pushes at the window again, but it doesn't budge. Locked. Let's try the one above it. That's too high. I'll boost you up. I think this is going a little too far. Leo ignores him and stands next to the window before making a platform for Jenna's foot with his paws. Steadying herself with her paws against the wall of the house, Leo easily lifts Jenna and she manages to grab the ledge. Fucking hell, this is so fucking stupid. Flynn mutters next to me, but I ignore him. Jenna pushes against the window and it glides open easily. Yes, now I'm gonna boost you all the way up. Hold on. Careful. Like there's some kind of cheerleading duo, Leo shoves Jenna all the way up with one paw and she disappears through the window. Her bush tail is the last thing we see until she pokes her head back through. Kitchen, I fell in the sink. Great, now unlock the door. She disappears again and we make our way back to the front door. Leo, you're fucking crazy. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, Flynn, I'll kick you right in your vag. Sounds good? Jesus, calm your... Leo turns on him, one foot in front of the other. Flynn shuts up. TJ's eyes are wide, even though he's staring down at the steps. I want to put my arm around him. Finally, we hear the door rattling and it opens. Called his name, but he didn't answer. Well, he's gotta be here. It's not like he can go anywhere or would want to. Carl's house is as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It is a mansion after all. Well, maybe less immaculate than I remember. There are a few wrappers and pizza boxes on the marble counter. I assume that's because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl! I set the bag down the table and TJ sets the cake there too. I look over at him. You alright? I'm good. Why? Just asking, so I rub the back of my head trying to think of how to bring it up. What is it? Janice. Oh yeah. TJ mirrors my pose, rubbing behind his own head. I'm actually really worried about her. I mean, should we still go? TJ looks at me, surprised. Of course, especially now. We need to make sure she's okay. Oh yeah, maybe we should. I actually don't feel like we need to do that at all, considering she's probably just really, really high. I was going to suggest that we could at least postpone the visit until tomorrow so she had time to calm down. But TJ's shocked at my suggestion as me holding my tongue for now. Chase, you check in the back. TJ, downstairs. Leo barks at us before hustling past toward the hallway. We both look at each other before I shrug and head for the back door. I stare at the glass window on the door for a while, wondering why Carl would even be out there. The old playset with the swings is gone, and so is the treehouse that used to be in one of the two trees. The branch near the base of the tree that we use as a step has been cut away too. Carl and I used to play up in the treehouse all the time when we were younger. I open the door and step out into the concrete steps. I feel a pang of sadness seeing it gone. I had a lot of memories up there. I can remember the day when we started building it. I mean, Carl's dad had built the base of it, but left the rest up to us. Duke, the old weasel, had a pile of random junk in his backyard, and he gave us permission to take from it as long as we cleaned it all up. I told TJ that if we cleaned up the pile, my dad would take us to the movies that night. We pretended to help clean up, even though we were just taking what we wanted for the treehouse. We hauled it away in a wagon, telling TJ that we were taking it to the corner for recycling or something and that he should keep going. Of course, we didn't go back. I don't know why I thought we'd get away with that. Apparently, TJ was there for 3 more hours before Duke came out and found out what had happened. I was grounded for the longest that I'd ever been. I cringed and closed my eyes, face getting hot at the memory of being forced to apologize to TJ. Fucking asshole. I mumbled it to myself. We were especially cruel to TJ those couple of years. It was probably because of the age difference. Me and Carl had been 10, TJ was 8. For some reason, 2 years feels like 2 decades when you're that old. Still, there isn't really an excuse for how shitty I was to him. Even after that happened, we never let him up into the treehouse. I was a real shitty kid, but I know TJ doesn't hold it against me. Still, the idea of taking advantage of TJ's trusting nature is just so terrible. I sigh, giving the rest of the yard a cursory glance even though I know Carl's not out here. I'm a little worried, but I'm sure there's some sort of explanation for where he's gone. I turn back around, deciding to help with the search inside. That's when I see a flash of a fat orange and gray tail disappearing down the downstairs steps. That was one heck of a doozy of words right there. I blink. Jenna walks past. I'm gonna go look in the garage. I don't think he's even in the house though. Okay. As Jenna heads for the garage door, I head for the stairs. Ew. A cool air once again, I forgot to really search what that is, like the cool air wafting? It's not wafting, it's wafting. I think it's wafting. It's wafting. Bet on the money right now. Pronunciation. Yes. Show it to me, Google. Wafting. Wafting.
Wafting.
Wafting. Okay. The cool air wafting up from the dark hallway ahead of me is a marked contrast to the heat from outside. I fan out my shirt a bit as I look at the multiple doors lining the hallway. The only open one is at the end of the hall, though, and I can hear a low voice coming from it. It's Flynn's, for sure. As I pad up the opening, I can start to make out what he's saying. But I just wanted you to know that I'm not mad at you, okay? I don't hear a response as I stand just outside the door. From here, all I can see is a few cardboard boxes and a neatly made bed that probably hasn't been touched in years. A guest/storage room? Come on, man, I'm trying. I was mad yesterday and shouldn't have fucking sent that. Flynn's voice comes from further into the room, or on my left. I grit my teeth, wavering between going in now or just hoping for the best and letting it play out. I need to go. I was just trying to figure out. Don't. I hear some rustling in the room, and that's when I realize that I have to step in. I hold onto the door frame as I poke my head in. Flynn has TJ backed up against what looks like doors to a closet. TJ's cowering in the corner while Flynn has a hand on the Lynx's shoulder, grabbing to the fabric of his shirt. TJ's ears are pinned flat against his head and he's looking up at Flynn with a grimace. His eyes flick to mine as he notices me. Let me talk for a sec. Flynn notices TJ staring over his shoulder and he jerks his head in my direction. The second he sees me, his hand drops away from TJ's shoulder. We stare at each other for a few seconds and I swallow loudly. Gulp? Gulp? You guys find Carl? My question sounds all the more stupid in the dead silence that follows. Flynn's gaze drifts to the wall over TJ's head where he stares coldly for a few seconds, his jaw working furiously. I start to worry he's summoning up another one of his tantrums. Instead, after about 5 seconds, he turns on his heel and stalks out of the room. I have to move out of the way as he brushes past me. When I look back into the room, TJ's already moved to stand in front of a mirror on the wall. He straightens out his shirt, then vigorously combs the fur on his face. He does a weird back and forth on his cheek ruffs with one of his hands, even though they look fine to me. TJ? TJ snaps his head in my direction, one of his ears twitching. Are you okay? I'm okay. TJ says it fast and loud, giving his shirt one last tug. Let's keep looking for Carl. He makes a point of looking around the room. I don't think he's here. As he moves past me to leave the room, I grab his arm. He jumps and looks back at me, eyes wide. Eyes wide shut. Whoa, I quickly let him go, realizing just how closely I'm mimicking what Flynn had done just a minute ago. Do you want to No! I blink in surprise. No, I don't want to talk about it. Sorry. His ears are down again and is looking at the floor. Let's just keep looking. He turns away again, but I feel like I should say something more. I want to make him feel better, get him away from Flynn. Do you want to go for a walk or something? TJ turns back around to stare at me questioningly. I mean to keep looking for Carl. He's not in the house, so maybe he's gone out somewhere around town. TJ nods in understanding, the distressed look melting off his face. Oh, that could be a good idea. We should tell Leo. I feel a surge of relief at having been able to distract TJ, and now I want to keep that going. Luckily, we don't see Flynn on the way out. A distracted and frustrated Leo quickly waves us off as he continues searching the ground floor bedrooms. Probably got high and passed out somewhere. He mutters absent-mindedly as we head out the door. I immediately realize what a bad idea it is when I step out into the sun. TJ, on the other hand, brightens up the second we step out of the mansion. That at least makes me feel a little bit better. We walk in silence for the first few minutes, looking at the rolling hills and mountains, cacti or cactus, and sage brush. It's one of those days where I'm not sure if the heat is worse coming from the sun above me or the baking black asphalt under my feet. How is school going for you? I blink out of my burning alive trance and try to focus on the question. Oh, it's okay, just kinda tedious, you know. At the same time, I get a pang of panic realizing how much work still needs to be done on my project. I'm able to convince myself that I still have half the week. I'll figure something out. What about you? It's great. Athletic training, alright? Yep. So what exactly do you do? Train people for sports? TJ laughs. Well, it's more to do with injuries, recognizing them, preventing them, treating them if I can. I didn't know that's what you do. So are you like a doctor or something? He laughs again, but like always, TJ's able to do it in a way that he's not laughing at me. Definitely not. That would be really hard. I guess you could say an athletic trainer is a healthcare professional. Cool. I try to keep from panting. I thought you would have been more into like coaching or something. You like sports. TJ shakes his head. No, I'd be terrible at that. I can't yell at people all day. Is there even a degree for coaching? I think most people that want to coach just get a teaching degree in history, so they can't teach. I make air quotes. At a high school while also coaching. They teach to coach. Oh yeah, that's how it was at our school. I step on a particularly sharp rock and bite my lip to keep from yelping. I really just want to do something involving athletics. Do you like it? The whole athletic training thing? Yeah, well it is my first year, so who knows, but I think I do. So you just like helping people. That and I just like sports. TJ's quiet for a second. It probably sounds silly, but it seems to make life seem more simple. Sports? Yeah, or exercising. There's a goal and something in your way like the other team or a big hill. I agree. It's a bit more simple when you think about it. And through repetition, you get better and good at that certain skill. So yeah, it's not rocket science. It's more of like a commitment kind of thing and discipline. TJ kicks a pebble up from the ground and catches it on the top of his foot before launching it down the road. And your only job is to get around to get to your goal. The Lynx laughs. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think it does. I'm kind of like that with video games, I guess. I can see that. Sorry for you're hearing that. That's my chair wobbling. I tried to kick a pebble up into the top of my foot like TJ did, but I end up just kicking it off the side of the road. How did you do that? Oh, I just got lucky that time. Usually doesn't work. I am on the soccer team though. Damn. I think about how I didn't even bother trying out for my school swim team for others. I already knew how mediocre I was. But I also just like being on the side of a field with all the cheering and lights. It's fun. This guy is an outgoing person, I'll be honest. Holy shit. You think he'd be more confident? Gravitas. As we continue down the road, we walk past the charred foundations of an old trailer. While the brush is mostly grown back, scorched earth and black sagebrush skeletons still remain. That gave me that made me panic a little. I was like, wait, what? At that moment, my phone goes off and I pull it out, having to cup my hand over the top so I can see the screen under the bright sun. It's a text from Leo. Found him. Hey, they found Carl. Oh, where? He didn't say, just that they found him. Well, that's great. Yeah. I smiled as a little ball of tension in my chest that I didn't even know was there dissipates. Great, where was he? I look back over my shoulder at the mansion resting at the base of the mountains. The distance and heat making it hazy. I really don't want to walk all the way back. Maybe he just took a walk like us and got back? Maybe. Oh no, I don't. My phone buzzes in my hand as I get another response from Leo. No party, Carl. No party, Carl isn't feeling good. I frown. What? Said Carl isn't feeling good, so there's not gonna be a party. Oh. Oh. TJ looks back at the mansion with me, airing out his shirt with both hands while he does. As much as it sucked for me to be under the sun, it's always worse for TJ with that thick fur. I copy him, airing out my own shirt, starting to feel self-conscious again about my muss. Should we head back? I hope he's okay. I think about all that shitty tension going on back there and grimace. I don't know, we could do something else. TJ appears to think, his hands on his hips. Then his face lights up. Hey, Janice's house right down the road. We can get a head start in the work. Oh. I'd almost forgotten about that. While I definitely planned to go, I didn't want to now under this heat. TJ jumps in place like he's warming up for a game. It'll feel good to do something after sitting around all day. I stare at TJ, absolutely baffled by his enthusiasm. I was about to say, we just did a walk under the blazing sun, my man. What? I mean, well, first of all, it's work. Second, aren't you worried about how she's gonna be when we get there? I stare down the road at the approximate spot where we'd seen her just an hour ago. She's not there now, obviously, but the memory still sends chills up my spine. Well, I want to make sure that she's okay too. I don't know. We should give her at least a few hours to recover. TJ stops bouncing and rubs his arm. Sorry, if you don't want to, I can just go. Sorry guys, I got the sniffles. This amihan, or what we call cold, the cold winds from the east. Is it east? I can't remember. Either way, it's messing up me. I'm a bit used to tropical weather, but unfortunately, I was born with like, it's not really a condition. I don't know what it is. It's just my body's super sensitive with temperature. I'm okay if it's consistently warm. Or if it's gonna rain, it's supposed to be consistently like that. It should stay at that temperature. If it goes up and down, ooh, my body, my immune system just goes overdrive. You know, it just. And there you go. I get the sniffles. I get the coughs, colds, and eventually, hopefully not, the flu. I glare at him. Oh, don't guilt me. I'm not. I just don't want you to be mad at me. Okay. Okay, TJ. I stretch, feeling sweat trickling down the sides of my face. We could wait until evening, at least. Oh yeah, I guess we could do that. The disappointment on TJ's face is so obvious, there's no way he's not doing it on purpose. Okay, so what if she opens the door and she's still got her pants down? TJ blanches? Chase! I'm just saying, my man, that's what could happen. There's no telling what she's on. Janice isn't like that. So maybe she was just having some sort of episode? Everyone's crazy here. All the more reason to check on her. Oh my lord, you innocent. Fuck. I rub my face. Come on. It's fine, I can just go. DJ folds his arms and leans in closer. Or maybe, she just had to pee. He whispers the last few words like they're the worst cuss words in the world. I snort and close my eyes. Ah, huh. Fine. I wipe the back of my hand across my forehead. But if I have a heat stroke, it's all on you, my man. Oh gosh, don't say that. If you feel dizzy or sick, you're going inside. The thought of sitting inside with Janice while I cool down is almost as unbearable as the thought of manual labor. Still, TJ looks happy, which is worth it. Which is worth it, I guess. Well, I gotta say, I didn't expect you two down here this early. I followed the old coyote around the side of the house, weaving through sagebrush and tumbleweeds. It's a bit hot right now, but if you're feeling up to it. Yeah, we just didn't have much else to do today. Janice, as far as I can tell, has been acting completely normal. I at least expected her to be embarrassed knowing what she'd done in front of us, assuming she remembered it at all. I'm fine with not ever bring it up again though, and I'm sure TJ feels the same way. I agree. We don't want to bring that shit up. Once we reach the back of Janice's house, I'm amazed to see a pile of tumbleweeds maybe 10 feet high against the house. The pile sticks out another 5 feet from the wall. Whoa! Janice puts her hands on her hips, looking at the mess. Oh, he's right. Been a few years since I got around to doing this. Can't see out the back window anymore. Janice chuckles. TJ claps his hands and smiles. This won't be hard at all. I feel like he's saying that for my sake. It's so hot, I just want to lay down and die right here in the dirt. Should be pretty quick, sugar. That's why I got another job. The corner of my eye twitches. Janice turns to point out towards her backyard. Or at least what would be her backyard if there was a fence or something separated from the wilderness beyond. See that pile of wood there? She indicates what is indeed a pile of old crumbling wood. Used to be a shed there, been there for God knows how long. You boys mind salvaging the good bits of firewood? Janice turns back to the small shack-like abode that is her house. You can pile that up against the side of the house. I give TJ the dirtiest look I can while he helplessly tries to keep a smile on for Janice. She shields her eyes against the sun. Wow, it's a real scorcher today. I'll have lemonade made in a few. And with that, Janice heads back around the house, her heavy footsteps crunching through the brush. We're quiet for a few minutes. Wait, we're quiet for a few minutes, both staring at the pile of tumbleweeds. She seems okay. I crouch in the dirt, putting my head in my hands. I think she just had an embarrassing moment and acted awkward about it. I do it all the time. I don't say anything. Chase, are you okay? I shake my head silently. It's not that bad. We can do this. I sigh, deciding whether or not I'm actually gonna leave TJ, then come back when it's not so hot. That's when I hear running water. I look up and see a grinning TJ standing at the corner of the house, holding up a green hose. Water trickles out the metal-capped end. Thought I forgot about you in water? Remember, every 15 minutes at least. Despite my bad mood, I can't help but smile a little at his continued enthusiasm. I stand up and walk over to the hose, taking it from TJ and letting the icy water run over my head while he looks on approvingly. I have to keep myself from moaning at how good it feels. Once I'm done, I look back at the pile of tumbleweeds. So, what are we supposed to do with all these? You didn't tell us where to put them. We'll just throw them off to the side. The wind will take care of them. True. Let God do the work. This is God's creation, after all, So we set to work. Janice at least left gloves for us, so we didn't have to worry about anything sharp going through our hands. I still get poked through my shirt or even in the face if I pull one out awkwardly. TJ, I can't help but notice, is a lot faster than I am. He's working at a quick and steady pace, not caring at all when a tumbleweed hits him in the face. I get a few more messages from Leo asking where we are. When I tell him, he doesn't reply. Soon enough, I'm sweating buckets, dark circles forming under my arms and around my neck. 10 minutes in and I have to take off my shirt, letting it hang on a rusty metal outcrop under the window. I notice TJ giving me sidelong glances after I do. I grin at him. What, enjoying the show? TJ jumps. Oh, what? No! TJ quickly looks away again, working faster than ever on the tumbleweeds, which are already half gone at this point. I noticed he got some sweat stain pattern as I did. Hey, you can take yours off too. It feels really good. TJ stops and pants for a while, staring at the rest of the tumbleweeds. I mean, might as well do it now. We still have a ton of wood to move after this. He flicks his ears and I can see him blushing. Are you embarrassed? Don't you shower naked with other dudes at school? Well, yeah, but what? TJ huffs and finally pulls his shirt off, forcing a smile as he goes over to hang it up next to mine. I notice that he does it with the crossed arms, the way girls do. There, happy? What's with you and being all weird about having your shirt off? You were the same way this morning. TJ sighs. I was trying not to make it weird, but you two were just staring at me when I opened the door. I laugh and TJ puts his hands on his hips. Just remember that when we're done, we're going to have to check our torsos for ticks too. Oh, yeah. That dampens my spirits? Man, this sucks. TJ pants quietly for a few seconds. It is a little hot. So you do admit this was a bad idea? No, I mean, maybe? But at least we'll have the evening to do something once we finish, right? He smiles at me hopefully. That does brighten my mood a little. Wanna go to the diner? TJ smiles before bending over towards the tumbleweeds again. Yeah, sure. I was wanting to try to... I jump a foot in the air, almost falling to the tumbleweeds. Go, go, go! TJ's off like a bullet, running away from the pile in my direction. Confused, I jump out of his way, then follow him around the side of the house as I look at where he'd been standing. I don't see anything, but his reaction is enough to get the fur standing up on the back of my neck. TJ comes to a stop toward the front of the house. What the hell? What happened? I finally catch up to him, panting under the heat. TJ's gasping too, but probably more out of fear. A tarantula. A reflexive shiver runs up my body and I wring my hands out. No. I'm suddenly very conscious of everything around me, all the little twigs and branches of the sagebrush looking like spiders. Are you sure? Yes. TJ's voice is high-pitched and squeaky as he shakes his head. He's laughing to himself nervously. I was reaching down for another one and when I touched it, it moved and it was a giant freaking spider. TJ must be really freaked out because I rarely hear him use even that word. Frick. We both stand there for a minute and TJ looks towards the back of the house again, biting his lip. There's something a bit off with the way he's acting though. Maybe a little over-exaggerated? I narrow my eyes. Is this another prank? Ha, no. TJ looks back at me and shakes his head, his eyes wide. It was right there. It's probably still there now. Dude, you better not be joking around with me on this. It's gonna make the rest of today so much worse. He shivers again, but I'm still suspicious. TJ could be a good actor when he wanted. It was definitely a tarantula. The front door suddenly opens and Janice pokes her head out. Oh my stars, who are these two handsome young men in my yard? The old coyote comes out, looking us up and down, especially TJ. The lynx notices and grips an arm with one of his hands as if trying to cover up under her gaze. And what's with all that hollering? I frown at the old coyote's forwardness. I look at TJ, but he doesn't say anything. TJ says he saw a tarantula. Janice claps a paw to the side of her face. Well, I'll be darned. A blonde? Maybe. I've never seen one before. Well, they're all over around here. You just never see them because they only come out at night. Janice shields her eyes again. This time of day is way too hot for him. It's probably a huntsman. All this talk about spiders making me want to just walk the fuck back to the motel right now. It wasn't. AJ mumbles next to me, but I don't think Janice hears him. Just wanted to let you two know that I made some lemonade and I have some cookies in the oven too. That lemonade better be actual lemonade, Janice, and not your lemonade. You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Guys and gals? Yeah. Sick head. Sick fucking disgusting thoughts in my head, man. TJ forces a smile onto his face. Aw, thank you, Janice. She grins at him. You're just the most adorable thing. She moves she moves forward to pinch his cheek ruffs and somehow he manages to stay smiling while she does it. Finally, Janice bustles back inside as I give TJ a long look. He throws his hands up in the air. I'm not lying. I can see him turning red under his fur, so I leave it for now. We look around for a while but can't find any trace of the spider. Getting back to work is difficult and I keep jumping at the sight of anything long and spindly. Which, when you're clearing out tumbleweeds, is everything. On top of that, I see several smaller spiders and every time I do, I jump and run a few steps away before I try to shoot him off. TJ recovers a lot faster, though, and pretty soon is tossing out tumbleweeds at the same pace it was earlier. This makes me even more suspicious. Anyway, it's not a bad sight. TJ's way more in shape than I am, the tight muscles in his back easily standing out and gliding under the fur. I catch myself staring several times and I'm pretty sure he does too. Once we're almost finished, I have to straighten up, pushing my hands to my lower back to make it crack. Sore? A little bit. TJ tosses out one of the last tumbleweeds before walking up to my side. Does it always hurt? He puts a hand on my lower back and starts sliding it around. Not really, just when I'm bending over and stuff. Whoa. It's quiet for a moment, teasing through the fur on my back. I start to blush, but that's when he applies some pressure to a muscle. I grimace and arc. Wow, that's stiff. I hiss and try to ride away, but he puts a hand on my shoulder to hold me in place. He giggles. Hold still for a second. Well, when you're digging in like that, that's because you're all tensed up. Just relax. Try to do as he says, even though it's extremely uncomfortable. So otters are known for having bad backs. I know, my dad can barely move these days. That's terrible. I shrug. He still gets around, just needs pain meds, which you don't want to have to rely on. My shoulder bumps TJ's chest and his long whiskers brush my ear. It's the short legs and long back. Rude. You have to bend over more than most of us, keep a good posture and lift heavy things with your knees. His fingers dance a bit lower before pulling back. You'll thank yourself 20 years from now when you're not in constant pain. I put both my hands on my back, feeling warm and a lot more loose. Hey, I actually do feel a little better. Great! I'm impressed. I agree. With how much TJ knows about otters, he probably knows the same amount about all the other species too. You know, you're really smart. TJ ducks his head modestly. Oh, I'm just repeating what I've learned. I mean, I forget everything I learned within a week. I do too, sometimes. Just have to keep studying until it sticks. That's how it works, everyone. I'm not even joking. You can most likely memorize in the first week, but give it another week, you'll lose the inherent knowledge. But if you keep reading it, it slowly goes into your, I forgot which part of the brain that is, where it goes from short-term memory to long-term memory. And that's when you're pretty good on that. TJ looks around. Actually, I really wish you could lay down somewhere, then I could give you a real massage. Well, that would be amazing. I could give you one tonight when we're back at the motel. You sure? The thought has me feeling warm and not just in my back. This guy better keep it in his pants. Alright, let's not make this awkward. Of course, I mean, I did sort of drag you out here. Don't worry about it, it's actually kind of nice. Haven't done work like this in a few years. TJ smiles back at me. It is, isn't it? He leans back and stretches and I have to force myself not to stare at his arcing torso. I think that's it for the tumbleweeds though. I look a little forlornly at the pile of boards. TJ follows my gaze and gives me a sympathetic smile. Remember, with the knees! TJ says right as he marches over to the pile. We find out pretty quickly that while there aren't any tarantulas, the ruins of the shed are infested with spiders. Several of them black widows. Oh, that's actually bad. A tarantula, maybe irritation, but you won't die. Usually. Black widow, the smaller the spider is, and if it's considered a predator, then you gotta think, alright, then how does it hunt? Oh, it's venom. Yup. It injects it into you. Black widows, you'd be dead, I don't know, maybe within 15 minutes, 25. It depends on how large you are. Going back to the thing, because those are actually dangerous compared to blondes, TJ goes in to ask Janice for bug spray. I go back to water myself again with the hose, letting the freezing water run down the sides of my head and off my snout. Fucking spiders. Fucking everywhere. I shiver again. I've been uptight ever since TJ had fake seeing that tarantula. I stand back up, letting the water run down my back and front, sighing of how good it feels. I hear the front door open and shut and the sound of TJ's footsteps coming around the house. Looking back down at still running hose in my hand, I smirk. TJ did start this little prank war, so I don't feel too bad for what I'm about to do. Oh no, I press myself up against the side of the house, making sure there aren't any spiders first. The second I see the Lynx's foot stick out from around the corner, I swing the hose up. My original intention had been to wet the front of his pants so that it looked like he pissed himself. Unfortunately, he's too far away from the hose, and instead he's left staring at me while an arc of water falls short of him by a good 3 feet. He's holding stuff, but I don't take the time to see what it is before I press my thumb the opening of the hose and send the spray straight to TJ's face. Oh no. TJ gasps like he just fell into ice water and stumbles back, almost tripping. I laugh. Chase, what the heck? I finally cut the stream of water, revealing a furiously blinking and dripping lynx. In one hand is a broom, and in the other is a plate of what probably used to be cookies. They look kind of mushy now. Ah, crap. TJ drops the broom to examine his plate of cookies. He tips it to the side and lets a stream of murky, crumb-filled water slosh out from the plate. It smells so good too. I walk over and take the plate from him. Well, the ones on the top aren't so bad, just a little soggy. TJ wrinkles his nose. Just throw them out to the desert. I'd feel bad if Janice saw. I pick up a cookie and take a bite. It's a bit soggy on the surface, but it's warm and gooey in the center. Mmm. TJ looks at me in horror. Chase! What? This tastes freaking amazing. Quit being so uptight and take a bite. I take another. Stop! What if that's irrigation water? That makes me pause for a second, but I shrug. I swallowed water all the time when I swam the lake. I wonder right after I say that. I wonder why right after I say that if I shouldn't be mentioning the lake at all around TJ, but he just shakes his head, making his way around. If you start throwing up tonight, then we'll know why. But I'll have you to take care of me, doctor. I don't know much about actually being sick. He watches me anxiously as I take another bite. Still, it really is good. Yep, I point at the broom in the dirt. What's with the broom? AJ bends down to pick it up. Janice didn't have any bug spray, so she said to brush off the boards with this. I groan. I was thinking you could do the brushing and I'll do the lifting since your back is sore. I groan. Don't worry, Janice says if we get bit to let her know so she can take us to the hospital. Comforting. Yeah, listen, I'm sorry about all this. I didn't know it was gonna be so tough on you. I swallow guiltily. Gulp? I'm mostly joking. It's really just how spidery it is that's the worst part. I'll buy the diner when we're finished, okay? I smile at him. I'm not hurting for money at all, but I know it'll make TJ feel better if I let him. Alright, that's a deal. It's afternoon at this point, the sun low enough that Janice's house is casting a shadow across the backyard. Of course, that shadow is a good few feet away from where we're working. I set to work trying to sweep away spiders, their egg sacs, and all kinds of other bugs while TJ grabs the big boards and drags them across the yard. I'm pretty bad at it, trying not to yelp while I jerk the end of the broom back and forth like an idiot. TJ tells me several times that I can sit it out, but I'd feel way too guilty if I did. At one point, I almost flick a spider into TJ, which sends him screaming. But several apologies and nervous laughs later, we're back at it. Takes a lot longer than it should, mainly because of all the sweeping I'm doing. But a few hours later, we're down to the last few boards. Also, what's left is rotting, crumbling wood. TJ wipes a hand across his forehead. Well, I'd say this is the last one. I give the board a cursory brush, happy to not see any spiders on this one. Hey, I was thinking, you want to go on another hike tomorrow? We could invite the others to go with us. TJ looks up at me. You sure? I thought you didn't like it. Again, I complain a lot. I had fun. Even though I did complain a lot, TJ. Fucking links. TJ smiles. Well, alright. That'll be awesome. It would be awesome. He's grinning now, and that makes me feel even better. Alright, let's get this done and we can go to the diner and plan it out. Sounds like a plan. With that, TJ flips the board and reveals a massive tarantula. 8 beady black eyes reflect the sun and soon I'm almost blinded by it. They bore into me and the spider turns slowly, crab like on its legs so it can face me. My stomach turns and the ground tilts. I feel like I'm falling off the edge of the world. I grab for something, anything, but all there is air around me and I fall into the darkness. Just count when the shoulders are down, alright? Wait, what? I feel like water's rushing through my ears and I have to widen my stance to keep from falling. Are you listening? Huh? Chase! What? Try to focus on the kid in front of me. That's Sydney? Aw. Did you die or something? I don't know. I was just thinking of something else. Ha, you're dumb. You're dumb. I don't feel good. Oh my god, baby. This is a funny. Toby and Sydney. Toby stands there with his arms around his stomach, his ears down. Quit being a baby, Toby. Just one more round. I don't want. Go. Sydney grabs Toby by the shoulders and sticks a leg out behind his legs. TJ's easily tripped and goes down on his back in the dirt. I get the feeling that the lynx is purposely losing so I can be done with it. Sydney doesn't like that and tries to pull TJ back up before rolling the lynx into his stomach. He yanks on Toby's ears. Ow! I step closer. Okay, okay, Sydney wins. I raise a hand and pointed at Sydney, just wanting this to stop. Sydney keeps going and grabs his shirt that he'd thrown on the ground earlier and wraps it around Toby's neck. Sydney? Hardcore rules, it's all legal. Come on. Toby grabs at his neck and his eyes widen as Sydney leans back, pulling Toby's head back with him. The lynx's arms flail around, his mouth wide open. I stand there confused. Is it okay if it's not against the rules? Sydney laughs and leans even further back, looking excited and happy. Toby stares at me with wide, bulging eyes. Stop! I reach forward and grab onto TJ. Chase! Chase, can you hear me? TJ's looking down at me with his wide blue eyes. Toby? What? I blink up at him, feeling sick. TJ feels my head, then stands up and starts pulling me along the ground. What are you? Gotta get you inside. He grunts as he pulls me and that's when my stomach lurches and I roll over and vomit up the cookies. Crap, crap. I can hear TJ starting to panic, so I grab at him. I have to cough and spit several times before I can speak. No, I'm fine. Don't freak out. No, you're not. Can you stand up? Yeah, I'm good. I get up on wobbly but stable enough legs. TJ puts an arm around me. We're calling an ambulance once we get inside. No, I'm alright. No, you're not alright. This is serious. He starts limping me towards the front of the house. I should have been keeping an eye on you. TJ's voice cracks and I stop him. Hey, look at me. I'm okay. I look him in the eyes and see tears threatening to spill over. I'm just really hungry and I stood up too fast and I got dizzy. TJ looks back at me, studying my face. Just don't call an ambulance for me. Not yet, at least. I force a laugh. Definitely can't afford that right now. TJ's quiet for a moment and starts pulling me to the front again. We're getting you inside at least. I should never have had you work under this heat. I'm just tired. We should go to the motel instead. Inside now, just in case. Just in case. Chase. You got that? You want a brace? Lace? Fucking the Janice is happy to let us sit on the couch for a while drinking lemonade. TJ doesn't tell her what happened, but he glances at me every now and then as if worried I'm gonna faceplant off the couch. I feel a little bit dizzy, but otherwise fine. I keep thinking back to that tarantula, but TJ hasn't said anything about it, so I decide not to bring it up yet. Meanwhile, TJ's making awkward conversation with Janice. I lean my head back, hungry and tired. Mainly it's the wood chopping that'll be the hard part. My back isn't near as good as it once was. Oh yeah, I imagine. I guess I was hoping I could get just a little more help. Oh, if you didn't mind, of course. I lift my head from the couch and look up at TJ. I got two more off as well, and I'll be free to show you what needs to be done for willing. TJ's stuck with his mouth open, then he smiles. "Yeah, of course. I frown. Janice beams at him. You are just a little lifesaver, Tobias. No problem, ma'am. And so proper too. TJ avoids making eye contact with me, a smile plastered to his face all the while. Janice suddenly turns her gaze on me and I'm forced to wipe the glare off my face. How are those cookies? Oh, good. They were good, huh, TJ? TJ is still smiling, just give a curt nod. Good, good. My secret recipe. She winks at me and I feel a little uncomfortable because the smile doesn't touch her eyes. It's a short walk to the diner and I berate TJ the entire way. I'm sorry, she just sort of pushed it on me. You can always say no, man. I can't just say no. Or at least that you had other plans. TJ stays quiet as I push open the door to the diner. I was kind of looking forward to hanging out again. TJ keeps quiet as we sit down, so I give up and just lean my head back again, eyes closed. It's quiet for a few minutes before TJ finally speaks up. How are you feeling? I rub my eyes gently, a headache now replacing the dizziness that I'd felt earlier. Tired. My head hurts. I really shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry. Stop apologizing. Please, it's fine. It wasn't the heat. TJ frowns and sits back, looking out the window at the sunset. Sorry, I'm not mad, man. I just don't want to see you beat yourself up over it, you know? I don't tell him that his constant fretting and apologizing is grating on my headache. Well, make sure you try to eat. You might just need energy. Here's hoping. At that moment, a young stag that I vaguely recognize comes up to our table. It's weird seeing someone so young and fresh in Janice's position. Once he gets to our table, though, his eyes light up. Tej? TJ sits up suddenly, a big grin spreading across his face. Julian! Julian? It's been a while since I've seen him. He's bigger, and so are his antlers. I barely recognize him. New character. And Chase too! What in the world are you doing here? Visiting? I didn't know you had the job here. That's cool. Julian grins. Not really, but it pays some of the bills. At that point, I phase out of the conversation, letting the two of them catch up. TJ had a lot of friends in high school. He had been technically popular. It's a good few minutes before the stag finally takes our orders. Once Julian busts off to another table, TJ grins at me. Aw man, it's good to see him again. Yeah, that's cool. With the stag gone, the awkward silence quickly closes in on us again. I'm too tired to do much about it though. I lean my head back again, closing my eyes, feeling like I might fall asleep right there. So, I open them and see TJ looking at me before he quickly looks away again. What? He fit us with a stack of napkins. He called me Toby earlier. Did I? But I remember even as I say it. Yeah. TJ forced a laugh. It's been years since you've called me that. Yeah. We're quiet for a moment. So, why did you call me that? I don't know. Guess I was just a little loopy after passing out. Ah. Oh, he doesn't. Listen, I think over here, TJ, man has what we call, I don't know, but someone who's usually socially awkward tries their absolute best to cover those weaknesses, especially over analyzing people from their facial expressions, twitches, and everything like that. They're feeling you out. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I eye him carefully. Or people with ADHD, maybe not everyone. I'm saying it really depends on the person. Or maybe people with social anxiety. It's just a mixture of things. Mm. Going back to it, do you mind if I call you that? TJ's fine. So yes, I study TJ the way he's sort of hunched in on himself, his ears twitching. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I go back and forth between deciding if I should bring up the whole Flynn incident or not. Despite his best efforts, TJ isn't fooling anyone that he's not bothered by what happened. Of course, he would be. Do you want to talk about what happened on Monday? TJ's quiet and I kick myself. I'm giving a little more time to think of what I'm gonna say next as Julian brings our food and strikes up another conversation. TJ, again, is able to easily slip into a smile and chat away with the stag. The smell of the burger has my mouth watering and it's incredible when I take a bite. It's striking how easy it is for TJ to just put up on a smile and act cheerfully. It makes me wonder how much of it is actually genuine. I'm almost halfway done with my burger by the time Julian is angrily called back to the kitchen by the cook. TJ goes quiet again and starts plucking at his salad. I swallow, gulp, and set down the burger, my stomach turning a bit at what I'm planning to say. I was thinking about this before we got here. About what? That maybe we could use the time we have here to remember what happened, to find... TJ finally looks at me. The sadness I see in his eyes makes my heart plummet. Find Closure. TJ is quiet, staring at his salad. I don't know, man. I just know how bad it is. 4 years still, and I just want to figure out how we can. I search for the right words. Be at peace with it. TJ is still quiet. I don't know, man. I finally say and slump in my booth, feeling like I ruined the evening. How would we do that, huh? His tone is shaky but genuinely curious. I don't know. Talk about it with the others, not Flynn, just the others. TJ looks out the window again. Maybe even go to the lake, talk about it there. I don't know. I almost choke on the word lake, still worried about saying it in front of TJ. A kid died there. Maybe. Maybe? TJ sighs and finally looks at me with a small smile. Maybe, but right now I just want to hang out with you and have a good time, okay? Okay. So stop being so angry, it's making me sad. I pick up my burger, my stomach loosening up enough that I feel like I can eat again. Sorry, I was just looking forward to. And stop apologizing. He says it with a smirk, then almost immediately frowns. I mean, sorry that was rude. I laugh at him and he smiles back. I take another bite and look out the window. I feel a lot better now, and now I'm pretty sure I only passed out because I didn't have any food in me. By the way, did you ever see that tarantula again after that first time you saw it? TJ shudders. No, thank goodness. I look out the window at the brilliant sunset. Ah, that's good. Swell, swimming. He tries to walk away from me, but I kick him in his lower back and he goes stumbling forward into his knees. Man's daydreaming again, or is actually asleep. He stays there, not bothering to move at all. I glare at the back of his head, breathing hard. How does it feel when it's happening to you? My voice shakes as I yell at him. I'm not used to doing something like this. It felt so gross. But at the same time, I feel like I'm finally teaching him a lesson. He's had this coming for so long. Why are you so mean to him? He doesn't answer, instead slowly getting up to his feet, wiping his face with the back of his hand. I told him to come out here to make one of his treasure hunts just so I could confront him like this. It's not going how I thought it would, though. He's just standing there, not saying anything. Finally starts to walk away again, shoulders slumped, ears and tail down. I feel another burst of anger following him. I quickly overtake his slow pace and shove him as hard as I can in the back. His head snaps back before he falls flat on his stomach on the ground. He stays there for a long, long time while I stare at him. I can't remember what happened after that. A letter. Thursday. It's Thursday, isn't it? God save the Queen. Oh, ding, 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 ding. It's tea time. Time to move my biscuits and crumb. There's a dull throbbing in my head when I wake up. A remnant of the raging headache I had yesterday. I take some Tylenol when TJ goes in the bathroom so he doesn't see. I don't want to worry him. While he's taking one of his insanely long showers, I go down to the lobby to get some breakfast. When I come back to the room, balancing 2 plates full of bagels, bacon, and eggs, I'm surprised to see TJ already done. He's busy brushing his fur in the mirror, trying to tame the comical fluffed up look he has going on. I can't believe I forgot my shampoo. Look at how ridiculous I look. He holds his arms out to me and Jenna. Jenna grunts, not really paying attention, as she types away furiously on her laptop. I think it's kinda cute. TJ smiles. You mean funny? No, you just look a little chubby. I smirk at TJ's mortified look as I set the plates down the table, which forces Jenna to push her laptop aside for the moment. TJ opens a packet of jam and butter before spreading it neatly on a bagel cut in half. I watch as some of it sticks to the long fur around his mouth while he nibbles at it. He wipes it away with a napkin, only to start the process over again. It's so sad that you're going to spend all your time doing homework, Jenna. I'm taking 2 midterms the Monday we get back, so it's fairly necessary, TJ. Damn. Jenna doesn't even look up from her laptop as she responds, focused solely on whatever it is she's typing. I'm pretty sure she just shoved half a bagel into her mouth before she went back to work. TJ sits there quietly for a moment, taking another bite. You think you'll have time to do anything today? Jenna doesn't answer for a few seconds, the only sound that faint patter of the keyboard. Finally, she stops and looks up for the first time in probably an hour. I don't think so. I have a lot of work to do. Why don't you two go out and do something? We will. It would just be nice if you could go with us. I snort. Yeah, come with us to do more work at Janice's house again. TJ lowers his ears. Again? TJ takes another bite of his bagel and doesn't look like he's gonna say anything. I sigh. Yeah, she kinda cornered him and got him to say he'd do more work. Jenna rolls her eyes and returns her attention back to the laptop. Jan is taking advantage of people. Shocker. Jenna, TJ protests quietly. You know, she used to give me some sort of a sob story at the diner to get me to tip better. TJ frowns. Well, she does have a tough life, Jenna. Despite being annoyed at having to go back to Janice's, I find myself siding with TJ. I think you do whatever you can here to make money. It's probably hard to own a house as just a waitress. Yeah, well, maybe don't be a waitress in a shit crap town. She could at least try to find something else if it's that hard. TJ is still frowning, his ears down. I can tell he wants to say something more, but Jenna is an intimidating figure to try and argue with. True, she looks like she can. Her eyes could kill, man. It's quiet for another minute before Jenna sighs loudly. Sorry, I'm just a little stressed out right now. I have a lot of stuff to get done. It's alright, I wish we could help you out. Jenna laughs without any humor. I wish you could too. I wish you could. Absolutely, TJ. TJ falls silent, staring at a small piece of bagel held between his fingers. Oh my god, I hate that fucking vibrating thing. It's giving me like some fucking PTSD. My phone buzzes in my pocket and take it out. Surprised to see a text from Carl. Yo. I stare at it for a moment. Huh. Hi. Who is it? TJ asks around his last bite of bagel, holding a napkin daintily in front of his mouth as he chews. Carl. Jenna's typing stops again. Really? How's he doing? I don't know. He seems okay. I realized then that I hadn't really had a chance to ask Jenna or anyone else what had happened with Carl yesterday. Where was he? And Leo said you guys found him. Yeah. Jenna pauses, staring at the screen of her laptop. What happened? I really don't know. Flynn found him in the crawl space, apparently. The crawl space? Must be tripping bad, tripping balls. For some reason, I get chills running up my arms. What in the world was he doing down there? Jenna shakes her head. When I went down there, he was just sitting on the ground and Flynn told me to leave. I raise my brows and TJ gives me a confused look. He was standing in front of him so I couldn't see him like if he was upset or something. What was he doing? Jenna shrugs. Flynn took him upstairs and we left after that. Was he like drunk or something? TJ seems to try and word it delicately. Jenna shrugs again, then turns back to her writing. He's always high, isn't he? I look back down to my phone. Wanna hang out? Is he that high right now? It takes a second to figure it out. When I do, I look back up at TJ. What time does Janice want us over? We'll go in the evening when it's not so hot. TJ looks down and lowers his ears again. Because I don't want TJ to get all apologetic again, I keep talking. So, do you want to go hang out with Carl? TJ smiles. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Alright then. Sure, TJ is also coming with me. For some reason though, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. Something is definitely off. Lynn, what? They talk. I'm pretty sure they talk. Whatever they talk about, something happened. Stepping out into the parking lot, TJ immediately starts heading for the road while I pause with the car, holding my keys. TJ turns around. Are we walking? I look up the road towards the foothills of the mountains. Carl's house, an intimidating speck in the distance, barely visible through the heat haze. Oh, did you want to drive? I shield my eyes against the sun, only so over the mountains, but still promising a hellscape by noon. I mean, did you want to walk? I can see TJ's demeanor deflate a little bit as he starts walking back towards me in the car. We can drive. He smiles at me, but I sigh and shove my keys back into my pocket. Nah. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We ball. We be ballin'. Let's go. Oh, okay. TJ smiles and waits for me to catch up to him before we start up the road. While I'm not looking forward to trekking back at Janice's house in the heat, I'd rather TJ be in an upbeat mood. We're pretty quiet on the way up. It isn't until I'm sorry, I'm like practicing my vocals here. Maybe I do that in another video. Yeah. It isn't until we're passing Janice's house that I finally break the silence. Man, why did you have to say yes? I groan half teasingly, shoving my shoulder into his, sending him stumbling a little ways into the road. I'm sorry. Is it so hard to say no, TJ? Well, yeah, it definitely is. I sigh. It would be fine if we weren't on vacation with friends we might never see again. TJ sulks a bit. Don't say that. It's kinda true. I remember that the trip was already sort of ruined because of Flynn. Anyway, it's not that easy, Chase, especially when she's all smiling and expectant like that, you know? You should stop letting people take advantage of you. TJ stares at the ground. Sorry. And stop apologizing. TJ flattens his ears and I realize that my tone might have been a bit too harsh. Okay, now I'm sorry. I was mostly joking, but it's frustrating to see you get pushed around. I don't really get pushed around. Sure, buddy. Whatever it helps you sleep at night. Yeah. And get taken advantage of. She doesn't take advantage of me. Why do you think she only asks you for these things? He opens his mouth, but I don't let him answer. Because she knows he'll say yes. That's basically the definition of taking advantage of someone. I nudge him again with my shoulders, but he manages not to fall into the road this time. You gotta be a little more assertive. Stand up for yourself more often. TJ shoves his hands in his pockets. So just say no to people? Not just when it comes to saying no. Stand up to people being mean to you too. I don't mention Flynn, but I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm getting at. I try to give him an encouraging smile, but he doesn't look at me. It feels great, man. Once you do it once, you can't stop. TJ looks away out into the desert. Sounds like you just want me to be mean to people. I shake my head. You can be nice and assertive at the same time. It's a good combination. TJ's quiet for a few minutes as we start the painful uphill portion of the trek towards Carl's mansion. I do it because I like to do it, you know. I'm starting to pant a little, my short stubby legs already burning. I like to help her out. It feels good. Like it makes you feel better about yourself. It makes me feel better about a lot of things. There's a sudden shift in his tone that cuts me off from saying anything else. It's a tone I'm not used to hearing from him, and I wonder if I went too far with the whole being assertive thing. I feel like there's a whole lot more going on under the surface. But now doesn't feel like the time to delve into it. Yeah, we're fucking dying, man. I try to think of something else to talk about to change the subject. Anyway, maybe the apologizing thing is just part of your heritage. TJ laughs, dispelling the tension easily. Maybe. But if you do go back... if you do go back, at least you'll fit in with all the nice people. It's just a stereotype and not all that true. There were mean people in Wasachua. The fuck is Wasachua? Not like here, though. TJ nods. Yeah, not like here. We're quiet for a few more minutes. Carl's house promisingly close now. I'm distracted, looking up at it, when suddenly TJ shoulder checks me right off the road, tripping me over my own feet and into the sagebrush. What the hell? I shout as I lay in the dirt, dust cloud clearing to reveal a mortified TJ still standing on the side of the road. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to knock you over, I'm so... He catches himself, though the horrified look is still on his face. I stare up at him for a while, then burst out laughing. I see his tail and ears relax, his floofed out fur laying back down. His smile seemingly relieved. You're learning. He rubs his shoulder sheepishly. I guess so? Aw. We stand a good couple minutes on Carl's doorstep, ringing the doorbell over and over. I can hear the heavy beat of some hip-hop song through the door and ground. I swear the windows look like they're about to bust out with how much they're shaking. Finally, I send him a text and that's when the music finally stops and the door swings open. As it does, TJ and I are blasted with a wave of pot with just a touch of booze lingering underneath. Carl grins at us, his eyes bloodshot and fur mussed up. What the fuck took you guys so long to get here? TJ frowns, rubbing his nose inconspicuously. I don't think I've ever seen Carl this far gone. I stare at him as he stares back at us, his grin never wavering. I finally break the silence. Are you okay? Carl suddenly gets a very serious look on his face. Chase. Gravely reaches out to put both his paws on my shoulders. I have... He smirks and sets his face sternly again. Never felt better. Man is on the deep end. I told you, what Flynn did, it could have worked. But it's one of those last resorts kind of thing, an intervention. Where you just real talk the person straight up. But it's the last ditch effort. Because usually if you do it wrong, in the wrong time, at the wrong time, the wrong place or whatever, the person might go even deeper. Literally making it worse, so yeah. He brings me into a hug and whispers fierce into my ear. I'm so glad you're here. He suddenly shoves me back and whirls on TJ, who cringes. Carl goes after him, sweeping him off his feet like the lynx in his brand new bride. Carl! Get inside before you get a heat stroke, fluff cheeks. I stand there on the doorstep as Carl takes the cat inside, TJ throwing me a wide-eyed look over the ram's broad shoulder. I stare back, wondering if this was such a good idea before stepping in. Hot smell aside, the coolness of the mansion is a welcome relief to the quickly rising heat behind me. I'm just in time to see Carl toss TJ into a two-cushion couch before flopping the bigger one across from it. He smiles at me and pats the cushion next to him. I sit down the last cushion, leaving a space between the two of us. I'm just a little worried about how handsy he's being right now. Carl shrugs and kicks up his feet on the cushion between us, tapping me with his hooves. We sit there for an agonizingly awkward 10 seconds before TJ clears his throat. So Carl, how have you been? Carl rolls his head on his shoulders to snap his gaze in the direction of TJ, who gulps. TJ, I've been just peachy. You get me? TJ's ears twitch. Yes? Super. Carl giggles quietly to himself. He stares at the ceiling for a while, continuing to tap me with his hooves. I look down and see that they're leaving hoof-shaped prints of white dust on my pants. Man, I'm glad you guys are here. I thought I was gonna go crazy. How come? Carl interlocks his fingers behind his head. This house, man, you go crazy in it when no one's around. Flynn spent the night, but then he had to go to work. Ah. TJ seems to have run out of things to say, leaning back on the couch as his tail twitches around nervously. Carl doesn't seem to mind though, staring peacefully at the ceiling. I exchange glances with TJ, who shrugs worriedly at me. I look at the massive flat screen. So, you wanna watch something? Carl flicks his eyes to the TV. Have you seen the new Luce Lobo movie? I have to think about that. Not since last summer, I think. I haven't. It's the fucking shit, dudes. Carl sticks his legs in the air, swiveling on his butt before launching himself off the couch to land on his hooves awkwardly. He stumbles, falling to TJ's couch. Alex tries to steady him, but the ram is off before he can, grabbing the remote. Suddenly he spins around and tosses his phone at me, and I have to lunge to catch it. Chase! Please order us a goddamn pizza. I'm starving. What? I stare at his phone. He sighs loudly at me. The Giano's app. The Giano's app. Duh! It takes me a second to find the sea of random game apps. Oh, so, what do you guys want? I'll shove anything from Giano's into my fat face. I stare at him. So order anything. Okay? I end up letting TJ pick the toppings since he's got that special dietary where he can't eat gluten. Once I've ordered the extra large pizza, Carl's already started up the movie. I didn't know anyone delivered out here. Carl sits down with a beer in his hand, and I wonder if I should tell him not to drink anymore. Honestly, I don't know if the way he's acting is more due to the pot or the drink. He grins. That's what's so great about Giano's. They'll deliver anywhere if you pay. Takes a swig and belches. Price of delivery is the same as a fucking pizza though. I mean, this is in the middle of goddamn nowhere, so. He stares at me before pointing at his beer. You want one? I glance at TJ staring hard at the screen. Maybe I'll have one with the pizza. Me and TJ have some yard work to do for Janice. Carl wrinkles his nose. Lame. Do you want to go with us, Carl? Carl thinks and gives a massive shrug. I can tag along. Might not be able to do any real work though. He pats his stomach. Swear to God, I'll hurl. That's fine. TJ smiles, but Carl seems to be watching the movie now, which is already a few minutes into the intro. The pizza doesn't arrive for another hour, and when it finally does, the slices are almost room temperature. Still, with the pizza, beer, and the movie, I start to kind of enjoy myself. By the end of it, Carl seems to have sobered up a little bit. Not the whole bunch, but to the point where he's at least coherent. He turns off the TV and sighs, flat on his back on the couch at this point, his fetlocks across my lap. I'm fucking stuffed. I agree, and I'm feeling even less inclined to go over to Janice's place. TJ's pulled out his phone and now he's staring at it with his ears lowered. I'm about to ask him what's wrong, but that's when Carl nudges me with his leg. Hey, you guys want to play a game? I look at him cautiously. What kind of game? Carl looks around and finds a row of 3 bottles on the ground next to the couch. 2 of them empty, 1 half empty. Never have I ever. TJ gives a nervous laugh. But Carl, I don't drink. Give it a try. I frown, giving Carl a look. Or we could just do 10 fingers. You don't have to drink for that one. Carl pouts. Wow, you're boring as hell today, Chase. Alright, we'll do both. You guys can do the 10 finger bullshit. He struggles to sit up, burping again while he does. He leans over with a groan and picks up his beer. Okay, I'll go first. I hold up 10 fingers and TJ does the same, somewhat reluctant. Never have I ever. Carl seems to think hard and grins. Had sex. TJ's ears flatten and I glare at Carl. Really? We're going there already. Carl shrugs. What? That's the first question everyone asks. I lower fingers, still glaring. Isn't this game about getting to know things about people that you don't already know about? I look over at TJ, not surprised to see all of his fingers still up, though he's still blushing. I'm surprised you haven't, though. You've had girlfriends. Carl sneers at me. Turns out having to lift up my own gut so they can suck me off turns him off. Never gone past that. So they still suck you off. Blowjobs don't count. Yeah, they do. It's called oral sex. Nah, man. Okay, I suddenly become very aware of a beet red link sitting across from us. I cough loudly and sit up straight, trying to think of something that's interesting, but still G-rated for TJ. Never have I ever been in a fight, a physical fight, I mean. Carl takes a drink, TJ's fingers stay up. Who did you fight? The fuck have you been? Remember Clint? Oh yeah. TJ starts to lower his finger too, then stops. Well, he mostly attacked us. We didn't really fight back, so it's not really a fight. Wait, what the? This is messed up. Carl shrugs. Me and Flynn have got into it before. Well, you already took a drink, so I look over at TJ. Your turn. Wait, I was talking about Sydney. Oh my. TJ looks off to the side, seeming to think hard. Never have I ever failed a test. TJ grins. I lower fingers smirking, but Carl lets out a snort. Cute. The amount of disdain in his voice has me looking over at him, but he's already chugging down his beer. His burp seems to shake the couch. Alright, never have I ever kissed a dude. Carl! What? I've never actually seen you kiss Leo. So, oh wait, maybe I have. He shrugs again. I lower a finger, rolling my eyes. TJ of course doesn't. As I'm trying to think of my own question, I suddenly feel something warm press against the side of my face. I blanch away out of instinct and turn to find Carl with his eyes closed and lips puckered. Carl! TJ sits on the couch, his face a portrait of comically cartoonish shock. Alright, now I have one. I have. Carl takes a big gulp of beer. This shit's gonna start getting homoerotic, huh? That's why we can't leave the homies getting drunk. Gotta make sure there's like 2 people sober. Enough. I'm not sure how to react, but TJ's reaction is enough to make the whole thing seem funny, instead of like sexual harassment. I mean, you can't do it after the question's been asked, right? Carl puts his chin on a fist, fluttering his eyes in a way he probably thinks is seductive. You can look it up if you want. I shake my head, wiping the side of my face as I try to think. Never have I ever flown in an airplane? Carl and TJ both lower a finger. Really? That's crazy. I shrug. Hardly ever been out of the state in my life. That's tragic. It kind of is. So it goes. The game continues for another 20 minutes. Most of the questions innocent enough. Still, I notice that every time TJ takes his turn, Carl gets more and more agitated. Never have I ever done drugs. Never have I ever been late to class. Never have I ever gotten less than an A in math. Fuck. Still, I can't tell that TJ's directing it mostly at me. Partly because he's been mischievous, and partly because I think he's genuinely trying to figure me out. Carl's mood continues to sour though, and it all seems to build until the 6th round. Never have I ever been in a car accident. I lower a finger. You've crashed before. I mock glare at him. Why do you automatically assume it was my fault? Oh, sorry. I mean, my dad was driving and we got rear-ended. Oh. That's when I noticed that Carl hasn't spoken at all since the question was asked. Because Carl feels the vibes. It's like, these questions are only targeted to one person. So I'm not part of it. I feel left out. I think that's what Carl might be pointing at. I look over at him and see that he's got the bottle resting on his knee as he watches TJ. I lean over to poke at him. You okay? He glances at me before turning back to TJ. You knew I'd been in an accident. TJ looks at Carl confused. I did? Yeah, I told you at the motel when you first got here. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. Oh. TJ continues to look confused. Carl stares at his lap for a while, and I start to wonder if the game is over. Then he looks up and stares at TJ, rubbing his chin. Hmm. Seems to be thinking hard. Never have I ever. I already know what's the question's gonna be. We wait. Carl smiles. Never have I ever killed someone. What follows is dead silence. Carl stares straight at TJ, still with a smile on his face. TJ still looks confused. That's a weird thing to say. Is it? TJ freezes up as if ice cold water had been dumped over his head. I look at Carl slowly, but he's not looking at me at all. TJ's clenched paws rest in his lap, his face expressionless, almost as we both realize what Carl's getting at. We sit in that silence for what feels like almost a minute. Carl finally breaks the frozen portrait that we're all in, leaning back to the back of the couch. You know, my life has been going downhill since that happened. TJ and I don't say anything, both of us watching Carl. School, grades, drugs, whatever. I don't know. Seems like it all started after whatever it was that happened. Carl looks pointedly at TJ again. Carl. My voice comes out shocked and bewildered. That seems to get through to him a little bit, his long ears flicking down briefly. TJ continues to stare back at him, and I'm reminded of how he looked when Flynn was having a go at him. Carl finally looks down away from TJ. So I was in the crawl space the other day and I found an old letter from Sydney. I don't say anything, neither does TJ. Carl waits a while, then goes on. I haven't opened it. It said it was a treasure hunt on the front. A treasure hunt? Sydney absolutely loved treasure hunts. He was always making them in his spare time. They were usually pretty bad, and the prizes at the end were always pretty awful. It would always take some convincing on his part to get us to go on one. I don't know why I have it, but it's made me... Carl stops talking and closes his eyes, pressing himself deeper into the soft cushions of the couch. Maybe if we knew what happened, we could fix some of our problems. TJ finally stands up and Carl's eyes snap open when he does. I watch him too, having no idea what he's about to do. Because of the look on his face, I wonder if he's about to actually do something violent, attack Carl or something. His expression is dark, not like I've ever seen him even when Flynn was yelling at him. Instead though, he just stands there for a few moments staring at Carl. Carl looks away again, his ears lowered. Self-improvement starts with realizing what the actual problem is, Carl. That didn't sound like TJ at all, not even the voice. Carl seems shocked as well as he finally looks up at the links. Stop blaming others and start blaming yourself. His voice is calm and smooth but ice cold. TJ turns on his heel and stalks towards the door, his fur fluffed out. I finally snap out of it and stand up as TJ opens the door. I take one last look at Carl as he slumped on the couch, his head down. I'll call you later, okay, Carl? Carl doesn't say anything. So with that, I hurry out the door that TJ left open. I catch up to the links about 100 yards down the road, trying to match his brisk pace. It's late afternoon at this point, and the heat hits me like a ton of bricks. Sweat already threatens to drip off my chin as I approach TJ. He slows down when he hears me panting, letting me catch up. We walk in silence for a good 15 minutes, and I almost jump when TJ finally speaks up. Can you believe he did that? Damn, this is my boy TJ getting mad? Wait a minute. Who is this? Who is this? What the devil possesses, man? I take a few deep breaths, gathering the time I need to form a response. I... oh, I think he was just really high and drunk. TJ shakes his head. He knew what he was saying. Sure, but his inhibitions are down. TJ isn't as upset as I thought he would be, at least not in the way I thought he would be. Instead, he seems more angry than anything. I think it's because he's been talking to Flynn. Who knows what he's been saying to him? That could definitely be the case. Chase? TJ finally sighs and stares at the ground, his ears falling. I can tell he's about to finally start crying, so I quickly put my arm around his shoulders. Hey, it's okay. He was seriously drunker than I've ever seen him. He's not gonna remember any of this. Hey, it's okay. He was seriously drunker than I've ever seen him. He's not gonna remember any of this. He doesn't look up. TJ, you are a huge reason why we've all stuck together at this point. TJ doesn't say anything, and I see his eyes watering up. I could be making it worse, but I give his shoulder another squeeze. You're the glue, and like you said, Carl's blaming his own problems on over everyone else. This has nothing to do with you. TJ sighs, leaning against me a little. I take this as a good sign and nudge him. Listen, let's get to Janice's place and get those chores out of the way. After that, we can get some ice cream at Ray's, okay? Alright. TJ lets out a small laugh and we continue down the road for another 10 feet like that. And he suddenly pulls away from me, faces me, and hugs me tight. He buries his face in my chest as I feel his fingers clench into the back of my shirt. He holds me like that for a long time. And we are here in Janice's place. Let's go. We get to Janice's house a good half an hour later, he covered in sweat, TJ airing out his shirt. It's 5 at this point, but the sun is still pounding down in the back of my head like a lead weight. Janice opens the door almost the second we knock, and I can tell immediately that something's off. First of all, she's got no pants on. I catch a glimpse of her large white panties before I snap my eyes back up, staring hard at the coyote's face. I can't see TJ, but by the funny way he's breathing, I'm pretty sure he's noticed as well. Janice spreads out her hands, grinning. Well, I'll be, you made it. We go cut her for another few seconds before TJ finally squeaks out. Yeah, of course. Janice suddenly steps forward towards the lynx and cups his face in her hands. I keep my eyes up, trying to focus on her face. She squishes TJ's face to the point where his lips purse out a little bit. You, TJ, are a lifesaver, you know that? She says it sincerely and I can see TJ trying to pull back. Unfortunately, it also looks like the coyote has a good grip on his face because everything but his head moves back. Thank you, Dennis. TJ tries to speak from his squashed face. Janice, what did you want us to do today? I break in, hoping to move her attention away from ripping TJ's cheeks off. She seems to really be enjoying the tufts of fur there. Oh, Chase, you're here too? Yeah, we're gonna work on it together. Well, alright, how about I head out there and show you two? My eyes flick down to her bottom half for just a second and I immediately regret it. There's no way around it. You wanna get dressed first? Janice looks down. Oh, that! Well, I've just got to apologize now. I was in the middle of getting ready for work. I just forgot what I was doing. I glance at TJ, then quickly back to the coyote. Oh well, we can wait. Nonsense, it'll only take a sec. I'm left open-mouthed, following the coyote automatically as TJ follows closely behind me. Well, she needs medication. I'm not even joking. A quick glance around reassures me that there isn't anyone around the moment, but if someone does come around, Janice marches us out to the back, to the few wooden remnants of the shed we'd moved earlier. She points to the ground. I want you two to dig a hole right here. TJ stays just slightly behind me as if using me as a shield to Janice's shameless modesty. A hole? Yup, in a rectangle from here to here. Janice marks a line in the dirt with her foot before walking about 5 feet in the other direction and marking another line. And 3 feet wide, at least 3 feet deep, not more. I nod through her instructions, just trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Okay, what are we doing this for? Janice stops, scratching the back of her head. A pool. Gonna have a pool back here. A pool? Yeah, a nice little pool. She grins at us and I quickly nod at her. That's gotta be... Wait, what? Okay, we'll get right to work. Shovels in the garage, right? I'm doing everything I can to get her back inside. Yep, need anything else? I can make you lemonade before I leave. Nah, we'll just get water if we need it. Well, alright, no need to finish it today if you can't. I know how hot it is. Janice turns to leave, but not before reaching out and pinching TJ's cheek almost viciously. He squints his eyes, ears flattening as he just stands there and takes it. And with that, she hums her way back to the house. I wait until I hear the door close. Oh my god, she's gone insane. TJ stays quiet, staring at a spot on the ground that Janice marked out. Seriously? Maybe we should go. No. She's probably just having another off day or something. I shake my head. And this is definitely not a pool. TJ kicks at the dirt and I shiver as I see a small spider skitter across the ground. Either she's lost it and we're doing nothing here or we're digging a grave. Oh, come on, Chase. This was a bad idea. I hear the garage door opening and shut my mouth. A car engine starts up and then I see an old, rusty white sedan pull out of the driveway. Janice waves at us and blows a kiss, which I'm pretty sure is directed at TJ. Then she peels off like she's drag racing to the diner that's less than a mile away. So who do you think she's on her way to murder? Stop. I look back at TJ. Do you think she even put her pants on? TJ shudders and looks back at the ground. Let's let's just get this done. Then I promise I won't do any more chores for her, okay? But man, now you regret it, huh? Now you fucking regret it. I sigh. Alright, just remember whose fault this is if this ends up being our grave. The work is tougher than I thought it would be. We both start at opposite ends of the little trench thing we're making. Janice said we should do more than 3 feet if we could, but this whole thing is bullshit. Which I'm sure it is. And I'm not doing any more than the minimum. I'm at least glad to see TJ returning back to his cheerful, bubbly self. We even almost get into a dirt clod war, but that comes to a quick end when I hit TJ in the thigh with a rock-filled one. About 2 hours later, the sun is comfortably low and we're a little over halfway done. It's at that point that I get a text message from Carl. I take a quick glance at my phone, seeing a one-word apology of sorry. I look at it for a while until TJ finally peers up. Everything okay? I debate whether or not to tell him now that he's in such a good mood. It's hard to tell exactly what will make TJ feel better or worse, come to realize. Still, I think I can tell who it's probably from already, judging by how slanted back his ears are. It's from Carl, just says sorry. Ah. TJ stops digging, pressing his shovel into the darker, moist dirt at the bottom of the trench. That's it? Damn. That's it? Yep, that's it. Are you going to respond? I don't know, should I? TJ starts digging again. Yeah. TJ tilts his head down. I need to apologize too. Now that seems more like TJ. Yup. Back to his kind self. Well, what should I say? TJ stops digging again and looks up at me. I look up at him expectantly. Okay, so I'm trying to be more assertive, like you said. Oh. I didn't expect him to say that. Is that why... TJ looks down, so I stop myself. Is that why he'd acted so strange at Carl's mansion? Sorry, never mind. What were you saying? So I'm just going to say this. I was thinking about that treasure hunt Carl found. For a moment, I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, the thing he found in the crawl space. I was thinking. TJ leans on the shovel's handle, looking away, thinking that we should open it together. Okay. I say it slowly, realizing how delicate of a topic this is. Is there a reason why you want to open it? TJ sighs deeply, looking up at the deep red and orange sky. I always feel like things happen for a reason and we were just talking about finding closure yesterday. Okay. So I feel like this might be a way to do it. Maybe read what he had to say. Maybe go on one of these last hunts. TJ swallows hard. I can sort of see where it's coming from. Sydney always wrote stupid riddles and stories with his treasure hunts. It might mean something to read something he wrote so long ago. Okay. I keep coming up short with what I want to say. Again, I can see why TJ might think this is the answer, but I'm not so sure. Well, I guess I can ask Carl about it. Did you want everyone there? Maybe. Maybe just us. And the others read it later if they want. I don't think Flynn... I nod quickly. Yeah, that makes sense, my man. So you, wanna do that tomorrow? See if we can do it tonight. We've only got a few days left and this is making me nervous. TJ gives a tight laugh. Yeah, Sydney's treasure hunts could be pretty elaborate. Oh yeah, definitely. Are we starting to be able to talk about him normally again? Maybe TJ is right about this. Alright man, you said so yourself. I'll text him back and ask if I can call him. Okay. It takes me a little bit to figure out how to word TJ's request. Hey man, can TJ and I come over and talk? Alright. While we wait for Carl's response, TJ abruptly looks back up at me. Are you and Carl, friendly with each other? Huh? I mean how he kissed you. What? No. I laugh. That was just Carl being drunk. Okay. TJ goes back to digging, his ears twitching around. I grin. What, are you jealous? No. He says it way too fast and loud. Hey, if you want to give me a kiss, I don't mind. TJ doesn't respond, instead focusing hard on the ground he's digging up. Ah, if you're shy, I can do it instead. I see his eyes widen, but he still doesn't say anything. I make kissy sounds at him and that's when he flings some dirt up at me, smattering my pants with dark brown spots. Aw, come on. I see TJ smirk as he goes right back to work. I fucking hate that, man. I'm thinking about picking up another dirt clod, but that's when my phone buzzes again. Okay. Alright. We walk slowly up the length of Carl's driveway, our shadows covering its length in the light of the sunset. TJ started to drag his feet again as we get closer to the door, and I stop to look back at him. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. You sure? We don't have to do this today. We can come by tomorrow. TJ shakes his head, taking a swig of water from a water bottle we'd bought from the convenience store on the way here. No, I'm just a little tired. It's been a long day. Yeah. I wait for TJ to catch up, then match his stride as we make our way up the sidewalk, then up the steps to the door. TJ doesn't do anything, instead just gripping his water bottle, making the plastic creak. I wait another second, then reach out across TJ to press the doorbell. The faint, fancy chime emanates from behind the door for a few seconds, followed by the clopping of Carl's hooves on the wooden floor. There's a pause once he reaches the door, and I imagine him hesitating as he reaches for the door handle. A second later, though, it swings open, revealing a very bleary, red-eyed Ram. Carl blinks at us a few times through the bright orange sun behind us. Finally steps aside, opening the door wider. Hey guys. Well, my man, I gotta end this video right here. It's a short video. It's only been like 5 minutes, I guess. Thank you for clicking on this video, watching it, subscribing, whatever. If you don't like this one, you can check out the huge catalog of this YouTube channel, you know, visual novels and other games and whatnot. Sometimes I do rant other games. Sometimes I do play other games, but some of them I don't fully finish or complete if I'm not that interested in them. Other than that, thank you for watching. Sleep tight. Good night. Good luck on whatever you're doing. I'll see you where, I guess. Bye.